welcome to another Fight of the Night review. This was for the Fight of the Night that took place at the UFC Apex Center. I hope it's the Apex Center. Yeah, UFC Apex, same thing. In Enterprise, Nevada, and once again, no crowd, and we are talking about a fight on the main card. It wasn't the main card, I was just making sure, between Justin Tafa and Jared Vanderaa, and yeah, we're going to break it down round by round, or I'm going to try my best to, and don't really have a lot else to say, so let's go. So obviously the fight starts in round 1, and it is very much a feeling out process for a majority of the first couple of minutes. It is a heavyweight fight, so it makes more sense considering that heavyweights don't usually go as quick. It's just a fact, but yeah, they are feeling each other out quite a lot. Vanderaa does open with some really strong looking leg kicks though, and it sort of becomes his bread and butter for round 1 at the very least, because he is landing a lot of them and he's going really nicely to the body, and he's frustrating Tafa. Vanderaa is landing some really good shots to the body and legs of Tafa, and it is making Tafa like overconfident and overcompensate with his striking. He lands like a good couple of lefts at some point in round 1, but the majority of it does go to Vanderaa, I think. Like, he's just there a lot more with his kicks, especially to the legs. He lands some really good counter punches. Tafa does try opening to the body, and it does work, but he really only does this in round 1. I think if he did it more throughout the fight, he would have had a bit more of a chance of winning. Spoilers, by the way, Vanderaa does win by unanimous decision. But round 1 definitely goes to Vanderaa. I don't think it was really that close. Like, he got clipped with one good left at some point, but he definitely took the majority of it. His leg kicks were on point, he managed to frustrate Tafa, and yeah, just landed really good bodywork too, and a good couple of head kicks, not as many as he would land in round 2, which I'll get to now. So in round 2 is where the action does start to pick up a bit. It is very much the same for the first couple of minutes, you know, a lot of feeling out. Vanderaa is landing some really good leg kicks, really good bodywork too. Tafa is stepping in a bit more, he's timing his left a bit better. He does actually land a good couple of these on Vanderaa. And there is a point where, roughly about halfway through, give or take 10 seconds, where Vanderaa, like... Oh, I forgot to mention something around one, by the way. Vanderaa caught... he caught Tafa in a lot of really good, like, headlock clinches and landed some really good knees, and I think he landed, like, a flurry of 3 of them at the end of round 1. Might have been at the end of round 2, I forget. But yeah, in round 2, like, he lands a flurry. He starts off with a really good kick. He has another headlock knee and lands that, and lands a bunch of punches, and in the middle of those, Tafa blasts him with 2, and when they're sort of, like, clinched up against the cage still, I saw blood form on Tafa's head, and I, like the commentators, thought that he was cut on the forehead. No, it was actually Vanderea's blood. Like, one of the punches that he was clipped with opened a cut, not just on his head, on his goddamn hairline, and it was pouring out viciously. Like, as the fight went on, well, as the round went on at least, it was covering his body instantly. It left, like, bloody trails down his shorts, which led to an unfortunate visual in round 3, where it looked like he had a man period. I'm sorry, it was there, it was hard not to notice, but yeah, God, the blood was pouring down him. However, he did manage to tough out round 2, and despite being caught with some really good shots, he landed a lot of his own as well, and that flurry in round 2 definitely helped. Justin does land a really good flurry near the end of round 2, and I would argue that this is the closest round, because Tafa does land a lot more, but Vanderaa still takes it for me. I think it was just in a bit more control, his body kicks. He landed the head kick a lot more in round 2, and I've got to give credit to Tafa for being, like, a tank, and taking a lot of these and, like, managing to just eat them and go through them, and countering a lot really well. Like, Tafa was timing his shots a bit better. He was less frustrated, which I think helped. I think part of that was Vanderaa not landing as many leg kicks. He landed some, but not nearly the volume he did in round 1. But yeah, I think Vanderaa wins round 2, but it's the closest round of the fight, I think. And lastly, the third and final round, once again, sort of the same. Vanderaa taking a lot more control. He's opening up with the head kick a bit more. Tafa has finally found his timing with his left, though, like, faking the right, landing the left quite a lot. Yeah, he lands a good couple of shots with it. He's getting clipped a lot, though, with more bodywork and more leg work, and he is getting sort of countered. Thankfully, the cut on Vanderea's hairline is cleaned up. It does open up again near the end of the third round. I don't really have a lot to talk about for this one, though, to be honest. I mean, the most exciting things are at round 3. I mean, Vanderaa wins the fight by the unanimous decision, and he's in control for a lot of round 3. But there is some really good exchanges. There's a good moment where Tafa has a good combo going, and he overloads one punch, and Vanderaa ducks out of the way and lands a beauty of a left uppercut. That was a really, really good shot. Yeah, left uppercut. This is the right hand. This is the left hand. I know my hands. There's one. There's the third, I think. Anyway, yeah, round 3, not a lot of super interesting stuff happened. There was still some really good back and forth. There was actually some clinch work because Tafa was really badly hurt, and he pushed Jared against the cage, and Jared accidentally landed a knee to the groin, and the action had to break. There was only about like 37 seconds left of the fight, by the way, and I think his cut had opened back up by then, and it was a lot worse. Like, it started pouring actually on his face this time, because in round 2 it was like more down the side of his head. This time it was over the front of it, and like Michael Bisping said on commentary, he looked like he was Two-Face. He really did. Yeah, like, he managed to tough that out. He was wobbling a bit, though. I think the blood loss was getting to him, and Tafa was landing some really good hits. But he managed to recover, again, landed a lot of really good head kicks, some really good body work, landed more leg work when he was actually hurt, and eventually got the win by unanimous decision. Yeah, we'll just go to the conclusion now. I wish I had more to talk about in round 3. I'm sorry that I didn't. So all in all, I think the fight was okay. I wasn't super big on it. Round 2 was really good in places. Round 1 had like a couple of moments. Round 3 had a couple more moments. Round 2 was where a lot of it felt like a fight of the night, but it was few and far between. It's not just because they're heavyweights, because there are heavyweights that can go when it comes to a fight of the night. These are not 2 of them, I don't think. I think Tafa getting frustrated in round 1 and getting even more so in round 3 to the point where he had to push for that clinch didn't help. The low groin shot didn't help. The cut was sort of interesting. The fact that it was in such a rare place, because you don't see a lot of cuts on the hairline, and they are vicious. Like, any cut around the head area in particular is really bad. If it's that high up, it is nasty. So, yeah, the fact that Tafa smelled that and, like, well, not literally smelled it, thank God, that would have been weird, but the fact that he saw it and then didn't fully go for it a lot, I don't know. But yeah, I absolutely agree with Jared winning. I don't think there was any doubt in anyone's mind. Like, Tafa was overcommitting quite a lot. Vanderaa was landing really good counters. He looked really good. He looked a lot cleaner, despite the fact that he was busted open really badly. Yeah, the groin shot really lowers this. There wasn't a lot of like consistently constant action, and it was very, very one-sided. But it was a good fight at the least. I think another detracting factor is the fact that there's not a crowd. I mean, why don't they just have crowds for the fight nights? You know, it doesn't just have to be for the big number of pay-per-views. Have them for these events too. Why not? You know, they have the money, you know. But yeah, I think this fight was good in places. It's not going to be in my top 10. But they both really fought their asses off. Justin Tafa looked like a beast for eating that many shots and still going. Vanderaa looked like a beast for having such a nasty cut opened up, and he still was going too. So, yeah, the fight was good, at the very least. It was good. And I don't really have a lot else to say, so I'll just continue with the outro. I will see you all presumably tomorrow for a very brief history of Metallica. I'm going to try and get the episodes done in the week. The only thing I can fully guarantee is PBW versus ABW on Tuesday, and I sorted out the card for it, so I managed to do that. So, yeah. That'll about really do it, though. That's sort of my plan for the week. Maybe another episode of Music of the Week if I can get it done. I sort of want to take a break at some point, because it's going to take a lot of editing to get through the Metallica 2-part episode. But I will get to that when I get to it, and I'll probably rage a lot. But I'll see you all definitely on Tuesday night, and as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.